Hi guys, and welcome back to High Council Transmissions. This is Lauren. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. We're going to be receiving a transmission from the Council of Nine, as well as, this is just going to be so fun, guys. But they said that this transmission is going to be about transition, getting into a place of receiving. So they didn't really say too much about what type of receiving or what we're working through today. So receiving is the main thing, and our confirmation for this transmission is the color turquoise. So I hope that somehow that resonates with you. Turquoise crystal might be useful to you during this time. And without further ado, we're just kind of going ahead and go into it. They didn't give me too much to rebuttal about, so we're here. If you're here from my other channel, Live Like Low, I'm so grateful for you being here, and thank you for supporting my second channel. Okay. So yeah, Spirit has kind of guided me to take this channel in a different direction. So we're going to be going with that. If you guys have any questions for the councils or anyone that we have transmitted so far, please leave your likes, your shares, whatever, down in the comments below. I love you so much, and I hope that you continue to thrive with us. Now I'll call in our friends. We are the Council of Nine. We are grateful for being in your presence once again. We have come today to please hold for adjusting. As we begin here today, more is coming through day by day. More is coming upon, retrieving and receiving through you as a vessel and as a vibrational being upon this planet. We as the Council of Nine would like to bring forth an aspect of awareness as it comes to receiving. But also from receiving, we are going to first talk about emanating. For as you emanate, therefore you receive. As you are receiving and emanating through different elevations of different vibrations, you will continue to receive what you emanate. So, as many of you are emanating, you feel that you have no control over what you emanate. And therefore, you feel as though you have no control as your emanations of not having control come into fruition. Therefore, as you are emanating through perfect balance and seeing and being aware of what you are emanating, then you can change it. We shall now take you around in a spinny circle, as you humans do enjoy, to understand more specifically what it is that you can take from this transmission. As we spin around, we will enjoy telling you about how all layers of the circle, like the Fibonacci sequence, continue to build upon itself and build in on itself, collapsing and expanding in the infinite understanding of what it is and what it is not. Let us become more even inclined to understand. As you begin to emanate a certain vibration, where there is a want, a desire, or a belief, a negative or positive affirmation, a movement or non-movement of its collaborative form, you then become more of what you do not see and less of what you feel like you cannot be or can be. And through your reality, you then understand and experience the belief and the emanation at which you had given. As you humans say, as you are, you will receive. But we would go further to say, as you are being, you receive. We must also speak of a different style of emanation. As the Creator itself is, and it holds the vision of what ising is, and being is being in the moment of whatever it is that is expanding at that now moment and time. You are created in said image, therefore, whatever you focus on repeats within the vibrationatory field. And whatever you focus on for long amounts of time, over hours, days, weeks, etc., will create larger and larger manifestations of said belief, feeling, thought, or being. And therefore, the more that you focus on whatever it is that you're focusing on, the more that you receive it. And like a snowball rolling down the hill to become a large boulder of snow, it eventually becomes a perpetual cycle within your life. And if you are experiencing said perpetual cycle and you would like to get rid of it because it's not a perpetual cycle that you would like to continue to experience, then it is just simple as removing the attention from that experience. Although it is hard because humans have emotions, and therefore those emotions are very strong because they lock you into the cycle that which you have already created. As emotions are very powerful because once the thought has been decided on, the emotions apply it and your subconscious mind continues to digest it and perpetuate it. And because of this, your awareness continues to perceive it. And because your awareness continues to perceive it, your entire vessel continues to act upon it. We will continue to talk about this in a completely different way as it were said before. And the reason why we're doing this is so that you can understand exactly how not and to do a thing. As you are perpetually creating something in order to receive it, you are also creating resistance or non-resistance in order to receive it. Let us give you an example because examples are very good for understanding. As we circle upon these examples, we ask that you digest them as the revelation comes up and write down the revelation, as every revelation will be different than the one that is given in general here. As we speak, keys are given, and as you need, doors are unlocked. Please receive this in its wholeness. For example, if, like Lauren, you are manifesting financial wealth and abundance, and you have experienced the lack of financial abundance, then there is an equal and opposite delineation between the want and the physical need or desire that has become the blockage. At one point in Lauren's life, money was very frivolous, but the ones controlling the money were very not giving, not reciprocating or spreading of that said fund. And therefore, within her eyes, money was then scarce, because so many things had to be done in order to receive it, that it was almost impossible to make a right decision or choice in order to receive it. Therefore, it became scarce. But instilled in her was also the mechanism of scarcity. The idea of constant striving for something while also participating in a function like what is said in her community as hustling. These ideas and the perpetuation of these ideas creates an energy of scarcity, where the emotion and the traumatic response at which the behavior was cultivated and also rooted in creates also the negative correlation with abundance. Many can receive abundance from this negative correlation, but it has caveats, because it means that if thou is not hustling, or i.e. working, then therefore there is no abundance. A hustler needs to work. At some point, a hustler must become a businessman or a businesswoman. That shift is required in order to make and create abundance. Within any given community, there is always some type of organization that started with a simple hustle, as Lauren would call it. The simple hustle will then create a reverberation through all of receiving through the means of work. And the individual shall work and work and work to receive, to receive, to receive. And as you can understand, this is a conditional receiving, because the condition of work is also the condition to receive, i.e. the condition of work then becomes the condition or the blockage of receiving. To remove the condition is to remove the variable of having to do all by yourself to cut cost. The more that a hustler becomes a business person, that means that they decide to delegate. They start to build up leadership skills. They start to move their business in an expansive manner and not a restrictive manner. As they expand their understanding and expand the way that they do things, also what must be broken is the mindset of the hustler, the constricting, not wanting to pay the right cost for the right help. This runs rampant in receiving in certain communities, especially the one that Lauren had grew up in. Many have conditions to receive because in life and in childhood, they were conditioned to do certain things in order to receive love. And because they had certain conditions to receive love, they no longer were able to receive just because. If they did not do something, they could not receive something. Today we shall circulate this understanding in a way that will break off this chain of the mind. You are an emanation of Source. And because you are an emanation of Source, you then are able to excel to your highest extent, to excel to your highest beingness by creating and seeing where you are, who you are, and what you are operating out of. If you are operating out of the deep, intrinsic wounds and programming of the past, then you will create it in your life. If your past was discordant, the foundation was shaky and rocky, then your life will be shaky and rocky and discordant. It is a very simple matter. The question, however, is how do you move from discordant to ease? How do you move from shaky to stable? How do you move from drama to peace? And it is very simple, my dear. It's so simple, in fact, that you may laugh when we say what it is. It is, of course, being all that is to the right and discontinuing the being of the left. Now, as Lauren always requests that we mote our knowledge in Melkut and that we make it easy for you to understand, we want you to hear us very clearly. You yourself are a being which is. Therefore, all things in your reality are because you is, and you are ising it. So, let us give you an example. If you are someone who has unstable relationships, the first thing you must do is find out whether the love in that relationship is conditional or unconditional. And are you able to either receive it or give it? Now, let's say, for example, you and your partner are always fighting and arguing. Then that means that one of you is having trouble receiving and one of you is having trouble giving love. And in a very discordant situation, both of you are having both problems. Let us begin. If in every relationship there is a trend of people being emotionally unavailable with you, then that means that you have a problem with receiving unconditional love. You feel that there is a need to receive love. Therefore, you emanate and receive what you are, the reflection of what you are, the reflection of being someone who needs to work for love is receiving someone who makes you work for love. Doesn't that make sense to you? If you are someone who feels that having too much love makes you uncomfortable, you prefer to be alone, but also with someone who appreciates you, but not too much, then therefore you will attract someone who wants to love you incredibly so, for no reason. They just love you, and they will give you so much love that you will cringe inside and move away. This is the exact same thing, isn't it? As you keep attracting what you think you are. You think you are needy, therefore you attract someone in need. You think you are a healer, therefore you attract someone who needs healing. And sometimes these are not bad emanations, but you also must understand that with each full and total understanding, there are the polarities within the understanding that teach you how to stand in the middle and be aware of both sides of the spectrum. Because not all things are good and not all things are bad. Some things is. And as you stand in the middle of good, things that resonate with your highest good, and bad, which there is no such thing, but we use it because it makes sense to you. Bad is what does not resonate with your highest good. Now, for another person, your bad might be their good. That is neither here nor there. But what we would like you to understand here is that as you move, more specifically, we are being adjusted. Please hold. Apologies. We are the Council of Nine. This consciousness is very used to channeling the Arcturian Council. All right, let us begin again. Lauren is very, very funny in here. So, as you are experiencing the polarity of what it is that you want, you also must create a vantage point in which you can see both what you want and what you do not want, yes? So, what you want and what you do not want. And as you sort through all that is coming in with your attraction, you want, you do not want, you want, you do not want, you want, you do not want. And after a period of time, you have enough wants to then only focus on the wants. But because you took the time to know what you did not want, you now understand that within your wants, you can now go through and decipher in the wants what you do not want. And as new things come in, you are able to shoo them away if you do not want them. Simple? Of course. Of course it is simple. But it does not feel good all of the time. Something that Lauren is very big upon saying, especially in her other teachings, is that feeling good is a structure at which you stand in the middle. So, sometimes as you are moving through the realm and you are deciding what you want and do not want, it is not fun, it is not feeling good. It is not feeling good because deep inside, you are also having to deal with why you want what is not good for you. And because you are attracting what you do not want because of something inside of you, it then requires you to feel the pain and heal what is deep inside of you in order to stop attracting what you do not want. And because you are doing this and you are edging this out of you and saying, I do not want it, I do not want it, I do not want it, but in your mind you are, I am healing, I am healing, I am healing, because you do not want it. Then you allow yourself, as you are removing all that you do not want, to implant a want in its place. Ooh. Lauren says this is sauce. Do you understand? As you are moving, you are maneuvering. As you are choosing, you are replacing. You cannot leave a vacant space within the vortexual energy of your being as you are emanating. For if you do not replace it intentionally, something will replace it for you. And therefore there comes confusion. If you ever find yourself going on a path, you healed something, you did not replace it with something else that is good for you, and then you become deeply confused. The deep confusion that is you is because something else, someone else is trying to tell you who you are, and because you do not know enough about yourself in that space, because you have yet to define it with a want or a need or a you, then they decide for you, because the space is empty and it must always be filled, because source is always whole. And if source is always whole, then you must always be whole. And sometimes energy will attract what it is. That is inevitable. So what you must understand is, if you are trying to change your energetic pattern, you cannot allow your energetic pattern to decide what feels in, because it will create more of the same of what you do not want. Yes? Okay. Now, let us come around to the receiving, because we want to understand why you have blocks in receiving. Ooh. She say it's on the nose. Yeah? Okay. So, let us begin here. As you move up in your vibrational wanting or down in your vibrational unawareness, you are creating beingness. Everything that you are being, doing, saying, thinking, loving, attracting, chasing, is all emanating like a rock in a puddle, and it just goes ripple, ripple, ripple throughout the cosmos and bounce back and slap you in the face, either with goodness or terribleness, and beat your ass. This vessel is hilarious. And so, what we are trying to tell you is, if you don't like what you are receiving, or you are having such a hard time getting what it is that you want to receive, then let us take you there. If you are trying to go somewhere that you want to go, yet you keep slapping up against a wall, it means that in the place where there should be a vortex of wanting, because it is good for me, there is a vortex of, I do not want that. That is evil. I want something else. Yes. You are trying to go after things that you do not want, but you do not know that you're doing that. And you keep saying, oh, I'm saying great affirmations. I'm putting in the energy to go there. Yet I keep going there. Well, why? Why do you keep going there? You keep going there because there are lots of embedded energies that are taking you there. And you cannot ignore all of its reverberations in your reality. Because first, you must pay attention to what is coming into your present moment. Not ignoring it, but being aware of it. When you are aware of something, you can ask a question. When you are aware of what is coming into your life, if frustration is coming into your life, if confusion is coming to your life, if why is this happening, which is confusion and frustration coming into your life, then you ask another question. Why? And do not go somewhere outside of yourself. That is absolutely not helpful to anyone, not even you. You need to turn inside and say, how did I create this? Why did I create this? Where is this being created from? Let us give you an example of Lauren's life. Because sometimes Lauren asks us for things and then she is frustrated. And then she is like, well, why is this happening? And then we say, because you asked for it to happen. And then she gets more frustrated and more confused until we are able to sit down and explain it to her. What you must understand is, let us give you this example of Lauren because it is so funny. It is so funny to us, not funny to her, maybe to her now, but not funny then, right? So she, back in a time where in her life, all of her relationships were very honeymoon lovey-dovey, as she would call them, and then just slapping into a pile of shit. And we laugh. And we laugh because she created this, yeah? Because part of her knew unconditional love and part of her knew shitty love. And so they combined together to create a wishy-washy effect, yes? So then she come to Tehuti and she tell Tehuti, I want a love. I want unconditional love. I want a love that is faithful to me only. I want a love that I can be with for the rest of my life. I want a love that is pure and honest and affectionate and validating and wholeness. I want to be with someone who can be whole with me. And at the time, which is very funny that we mention this now, is that her idea of wholeness was like 50 plus 50 equal 100. So then we had to teach her what wholeness was. And then, as she was getting into the mode of receiving this love, a lot of things in her life that were conditional dried up. They dried up from the root. Why? Because in order for her to receive a love that would be unconditional, she also had to release all that was conditional at the time coming in through her life. So now we range across time and we peer into the life. Rest, and then we are saying, oh, Lauren, don't you want to receive unconditional love? And she says, yes, where is it? And we say, it's right there. And she look around, she said, not here. And then she continues to petition and petition and petition. I want unconditional love. And we say, unconditional love is here for you. So Lauren began to look inside because outside was not helping. Outside create confusion. Outside create frustration. Therefore, she peered inside and she said, oh, It is all reflecting me. And we say, yes, Lauren, all is reflecting you. And then she said, how do I change myself to receive unconditional love? And then we say to Lauren, you must love yourself unconditionally. And she says, how do I do that? I hate myself. And we look through Lauren's energy, and it is true. She was taught to hate herself, therefore she hates herself. And so it took a long time, many years for her to go through the energy for herself, for her to open up the energy of herself, for her to peer inside and say, oh, I love that part of you, yes. I love your nose. I love your eyes. I love that, when the sun shines, it glistens. And even though I get darker, I love it. I am not ashamed that I am brown. I am not ashamed that my hair is curly. I am not ashamed that I love African stuff. I am not ashamed. Why should I be? I am. And this confidence began to flourish out of her. And she was like, I am. And we said, yes, Lauren, you are. And she said, I am. And she said, I am. I love you. And then her entire world began to reflect the love that she had for herself. Lauren went through the dark and pain and poured herself out the sludge and grunk of self-hatred, kontra hatred, and poured in self-love, remothering herself, rebirthing herself, coming and burning away all that no longer served her, to then be able to attract her highest timeline of her heart's true desire. This is, as we speak to you, the way. Many of you are looking for quick fix. That is so funny. You want quick fix. This hand is not as good. Quick fix, yeah? You want a quick. And there is no quick. There is no quick. You know why? Because quick is just as quick. But being is immediate. There is no time. There was a did you see that? There was milliseconds where the finger snapped and there was no sound. You only heard it just a little bit after the finger snapped and the sound reverberated. When you are being, it is quicker than a snap. It is. But you must also fix all reverberations, and you must work through the emotion. The emotion is the catalyzing effect of the human being. If you do not deal with your emotions, you will continue to attract what you don't want, even if you have healed everything. Because the emotions of the human being are your catalyzing energy. Now, let us say it differently. The emotions are connected to your vital force in the sacral chakra. Your vital force, or what some of you call Kundalini energy, yes, this energy is your creatrix, your creator energy, yes. And as this energy spirals up the spine, up, and you create things. So if you continue to create and want to create more, being, if you are creating out of emotion, you need to be able to stabilize your emotion, to stabilize your reaction, to respond, not to react, and to delay gratification, and have patience. These 5 things will allow you to cultivate a attraction mechanism that works well for you. What it also allows you to do is assess whether something deserves your undivided attention or your undivided attention. Then you can start paying attention to it. Many beings that try to come through and channel to you human beings is that the problem with this is not everybody receiving the emanation of what is being said is fully digesting the information. Therefore, they take it at face value. Yeah? And so at this day, we are describing what is said between the lines. Some people hear between the lines, therefore they get all the information, they go out, they do it, it happens, just like that. Yeah? Others do not. Others do not because of the channel it comes from. Because they cannot relate to the channel, the information is partially undigestible. It is like being allergic to milk. But you drink milk and you take some lactose enzyme. Only so much milk get digested because your body no make no enzyme. You got to artificially put enzyme into you in order to digest something your body does not want. It does not want it. It could do without it. Yeah? Therefore, you still stomach hurt. It just hurt less. Yeah? Partially digested. Therefore, the effects are lackluster or not consistent. When you are digesting from someone that you can relate to, which is why there are so many channeling happening now. There are so many vessels happening now. There are so many here giving this information now so that you can understand why things happen. Why human beings keep creating the same dysfunction within themselves, within the planet, within their culture, within the people, whatever, the government, etc., etc. The people are not changing their consciousness. They are changing the physical with their hands. Yeah? And therefore they change with the energy of lack and frustration. Therefore, more lack and frustration throughout everywhere, depending on the type of frustration, the type of lack, you get just more of the same, just different. War is just lack, frustration made manifest on a large scale. What does that mean? That means if a country suffers from being founded in lack, like the current country we are emanating from, then what they do is they oppress, suppress, and take from others. Is that not true? Of course, it is. And any other beingness can see that. If you look around the world, there are certain countries that are thriving. And there are certain countries that diminish, not in stature, not in egotism. They lack because their people are not happy to be there, to be being there. If you look at countries, at their population, and the suicide ratio, you will see the countries that emanate in lack from A to Z. The countries closer to Z are the countries that emanate out of love because their people love to be there. Their people are happy to be alive, to be emanating. Many countries still have problems, but the fundamentalness within a place, if people, emanation, people who waited to emanate here are ready to exit, they do not want to be. They want to not be, because being so hard, they don't want to. Now, we will also give congratulations for the fact that they created the life that they're in, but they created the life that they're in based on what's available on the planet Earth. So let's not forget this, yes? Now, as Earth is making shifts and such, as we have talked about in our previous transmissions, you must also understand that as we are transmitting, we are also giving to you. Yeah? So, receive as we give this to you. If you are having trouble receiving, then you are having trouble emanating. If you are having trouble emanating, then you are having trouble receiving. When you are receiving something and it is hard, it creates a lot of work. It creates a lot of resistance because you feel like work must be there in order to receive. Then you continue to perpetrate that it is always hard to receive. Therefore, everything that you try to receive becomes even harder. Yes. If it is easy, if money is easy to receive, if everything is easy to receive, just because I'm here, just because I am an emanation of source, I am the princess, I am the princess, I am the king, I am the god, I am the goddess, I am the child of the divine. Why should I not have what I wish? Some of you call this egotism, and it could be. But if it emanates from within, the confidence from within the heart, within the soul, within the beingness that you are, then you don't have to worry about this. Because it's not about that. It's about you believing that you are worthy of whatever you want, no matter what is required. Because nothing is ever required, dear. If you want something, then it is. What does that mean? When you want something, it is. So then when you say, I want to have... Lauren is stopping us because she doesn't think a bike is a good example, but we will use it anyway. So you say, I want to have a bike, yeah? And yet you have to walk everywhere, but you're like, I want to have a bike. So every day as you walk, you're just like, oh, it takes forever to get anywhere, blah, 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 blah. And you just keep experiencing that walking is sucking, yes? And then you see someone riding on a bike and you say, wow, I love that I do not have to create emissions for Gaia. I do not have to pollute the earth where I'm trying to get to point A to point B, and it's expeditiously faster. Yeah? Okay. So then you say, oh, but the money, I don't have enough money to get a bike. Oh, a bike is like $200. Ooh, if you are commuting to work, honey, those bikes can be very expensive. Going up to $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, even more. Lauren has seen some bikes, honey, for $11,000. But it does not matter how much it costs. What matters is that you know you can have it. It is. Imagine yourself with the bike. Then you create the link between yourself here in the present and your bike, wherever it is created. Not out there in the future, just anywhere. Anywhere at which you create it. Then, like one atom and another atom across the galaxy, or electron across the galaxy, yeah, can then transmit information to each other. Just like that, you do that with this idea. And you say, hey, your idea over there, bring that to me. Yeah? Then you create connection. Then you are being pulled easily into it. One day, you just work overtime. Your boss, no reason, give you bonus. Now you have $100. Then you don't know what to do with your $100. You thought you was going to spend it on something, but everything go wrong. Your bank account closed. You can't even access your bank for the next 2 weeks. And between those 2 weeks, your mother, she give you $200. Then you're working, because now you have to work overtime just to make sure you got your money when your bank account and your money is now available in 2 weeks, yeah? So you work, and you're not keeping track of the hour. You're just trying to make as much money as possible. Maybe you go and you do a bunch of stuff, little gig work, etc. And then, boom! At the end of the 2 weeks, all the money in your account, and you say, oh, I have so much money, I don't know what to do with. I'll go buy a bike. And that might sound obviously oblivious, but how many times has that happened to you? Just out of nowhere, things miraculously happened to give you what you need. Sometimes some of you are so unfocused that the universe has to create distraction for you to be ready to receive something. Prime example. If you do not have good money management skill, yet you want a bike, the idea to close access to your account then gives you emanation. You cannot access the blessing until you have a concrete idea of what you will do with it. How you will do with it. How you will not expand it into something that you did not want. Do you understand us? I hope you do. We hope that you understand. We hope that it is wholeness, I suppose. Please allow for adjusting. When Lauren get distracted, she come up half into channel and we are asking her to settle. Lauren is a great medium. Therefore, she moves throughout body and awareness field as we are channeling. And when things startle her, she come up into the body and she is frightened and she expand on accident. Okay. So we hope that this emanation has been fully understood by you. And now you understand why receiving can be hard. Your receiving is not because you cannot. Your receiving is because something in the way. You remove obstacle. And usually it is you. You create obstacle. Now you remove obstacle and the creating of the obstacle altogether. Then you input a creating of a pathway. Does that make sense? You remove obstacle, a block, and you insert a pathway. Yeah? Yeah? Somebody said, oh, and it clicked like that. Yeah? Yeah? I felt it. Oh, Lauren is so funny. She is like, Oh my God. So funny, so funny. And we are using all of her terminology, which is so different than we usually emanate through. So it's very funny to us because we are trying to use certain types of language, but the language we have available is very different than we are used to. This is our second time transmitting to Lauren, and this has been very fun for us. As the Council of Nine, we do bid you a great do, and we want you to understand that if you have questions for us, you leave it down below. We love coming through Lauren. She is just different for us, and we love her difference, and we love her differences, and we love that she allows us really to command the body and to move within it. She's still getting used to our channeling through her, yes, and so it takes time as you go through all of the transmissions. You will see that there is a progression of our attunement into the transmission, because she is still learning how to embody us fully from the beginning. But we are still working with her, and we love this vessel. She is very clean, as we say. There's not a lot of hustle and bustle in the mind, so it is easy for us to search through her repertoire of information, yeah. Okay, so now we will leave you with a short alignment, language for you, so that then you will be able to see more clearly what are the blockages that you are creating, so then they can be removed. Now, we can remove them energetically, but it is still your work to consciously create what it is that you want. So therefore, in the next transmission, we will give you more to help you in this transition. But for this now, we will now adjust you to help you to be more aware of what you want and what you do not want, and how you are creating both what you want and what you do not want. Is that clear? Ooh, this is so fun for us. So let us begin, because Lauren feels that the emanation or the transmission is going too long, but we do not care. We do not care about how long it is. If you are here, then you are here because you are meant to receive it. So let us begin. Oh, tete ekut an aduet edut ateta utekan atenu. So, turu atat askut eten atuot alakut etedi alakut endeno sarapao etere kata atoroka sala etere ete dundra akate du dendria kata tutembo gudrik zandria tatu dendria kata dundre kimetu tantro kandra etendru sandria kendria tatu di tendru atata tuamba kandru eteti andra kandre tundre budo kundra etendria totrom. Allow it to come up. Fiet katutru atendra kendre tetatru otro katetindra. Sodra ketetiandra kandria kendre kindro kundradum. Zandru agiede jindra kandria tatundra. Sandria keteria tatukala itendria katiri atutra akandra itendruata. Shandrua kate eteneatala. Kandrua kandre etendrua kalai itendriata. Shundrua kandrai kendre kindro kundrai bandra. Zandrua tetindra kandrai gende tundro kundre endra endrata. Su Kandra Tandria kendra atrokum Zandria gendra gendrokundra and dendrium. We are now going to bring energy in through the crown chakra. Allow for release. So now, tendria kandru kendra utro kundra tendri, zendriandra kundre biantru kundru andra engendrian, zandru engendreum, dandru amagala, daindri eken biatro kundrem daim dritra atu drendrayum. Kondrua taitian food, prepare for clearing, titian trakin, titian taitin cherekin tokumbayam, zadingere ke andro kondrain gengi andru gom, zandrie gendri angadrogo zendrie gendri andrandrogum, su Dandria tekiandro kodria tandro, dandri dre dandro regen. Krukendream, dandrien dragandro trandream. Kriata diandrai kandrueke, ziendre kendrai dandru andre drindero, dandru agandrai driendrai dundre diantadriantruku. Receive the unconditional love, iferi kindria kendriantu. Zandriete tu da dai truk andre drun de tring. So. Alignment in the perfect form, I suppose. Let us begin. Oh, that was wonderful. We hope that you have enjoyed this transmission. There is much to begin again with you. We hope that you take time to digest, and Lauren is also informing us to tell you to drink lots of water. Releasal requires water, okay? We hope that you have enjoyed this transmission, and we will be back to be with you again. Si aton kant enut. We are with you. May your peace be with you, and may the grace of all things be over you. So it is. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. This has been dope. I hope that you guys enjoyed this transmission. Totally fun. Whoa, oh my God. Like, the first time I ever channeled the Council of Nine, it was like super intense for me. It was way too intense for me. And we had to keep taking breaks throughout the transmission. But this time it was just cool. Like, I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. So I love you guys. I hope that you guys will come back. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. If you have any questions, put them down below for the council, and I'll be sure to bring those questions to them. I have been thinking about doing some type of Q&A, and I have a friend who's already volunteered to ask the questions from you guys as I'm in channel. So whenever we have like a good list of questions, we'll start to do those channelings. I love you so much. I hope that you continue to thrive, continue to elevate yourself, and may you continue to vibrate higher and experience anew for yourself. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.